I don't care what nobody says. This is still the best Mexico performance I've ever seen. We went through the group stage completely unscathed, not conceding a goal. Went into the knockout round of 32, won it against a difficult opponent without conceding a goal. And finally, in the dreaded round of 16, we face a world-class team. And not only did we put up a valiant effort against said world-class team, we had those motherfuckers on the ropes, man. I mean, you want to talk about parking the bus. By the end of the game, the English national team were playing like fucking Panama, dog. They had everybody in the back going life and death with an inferior opponent like Mexico. Because this Mexico squad is among the best. And it is the best, in my opinion. It's still the best. I mean, I didn't live in the 80s. I didn't live in the fucking 70s. I'm a millennial. And I lived through, the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s, 2020s. I only started watching football in 2010. I regret that. I wish I would have gotten into this beautiful yet depressing sport at a younger age. But it is what it is. But nonetheless, I've never seen Mexico perform the way they did at this World Cup. So you know what? We could all be sad. We could all be depressed. We could all be down about being knocked out. But you gotta be proud of this team, man. And this team, I gotta be honest here. These are a bunch of overachievers, dog. When you're talking about Luis Romo, Jorge Sanchez, Piojo Alvarado, Jesus Gallardo, bro, these are players. Look, if you would have told me just fucking 2 months ago that with these ragtag group of misfits that I just named, we were gonna win the group undefeated without conceding a goal and beat Ecuador in the knockout round once again without conceding a goal with these fucking players, I would have told you that you're on crack cocaine. I would have told you to stop smoking that shit because it's fucking up your brain. Or maybe you're on fentanyl. I don't know. That crack ain't, it ain't even in style no more. But I wouldn't have believed it, man. These guys are overachievers, clearly punching well above their weight class, okay? So we have to be proud of what this team did. Even though this is a devastating loss, it's like I said, man, in the last transmission, I said it. I felt it in my heart that Mexico would win 1-0. But my mind just kept telling me, bro, that's not going to happen. England is going to win this game one way or the other. And that's exactly what happened. Once again, unfortunately, logic and reason always prevails over the heart, over emotion, over one spirit, man. But we played fucking good, man. And Rafa Marquez, he has a fantastic future with these players, man. Gilberto Mora, Brian Gutierrez, Huescas when he's healthy, Mateo Chavez, Iker Fimbres, Hugo Camberos, Hormiga. Like, it's freaking insane, bro. The amount of newcomers that are gonna replace this current generation, it's incredible. I'm excited. That's one thing I want to say. Everybody that's upset about this loss, instead of being upset, you should be looking ahead to the 2030 World Cup, because that's gonna be a fucking stacked team with Rafa Marquez as the manager, bro. I mean, it's gonna be tremendous. It's gonna be tremendous. We'll only time will tell. But one thing I will say, I'm not going to be like on some toxic positivity shit. I am gonna give some constructive criticism. I will say, and I actually went with my wife to a bar and grill to watch the game, and I got into it with somebody there. I was telling him, like, bro, this is a mistake to start Jorge Sanchez in this game. And he was telling me, nah, bro, Jorge Sanchez, he keeps them guessing by going forward, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you right now, and I could be wrong, but I'd be willing to bet money that if Isra started instead of Jorge Sanchez, that first goal by Jude Bellingham does not happen. That first goal does not happen if Isra would have started. You know why it wouldn't have happened? Because Isra would have been fucking marking that man. There was nobody marking that man. You had Cesar Montes and Johan Vasquez. They were focused on Harry Kane, which they should be, because Harry Kane's a bad motherfucker, you know? They were focused on him, and they left Jude Bellingham just wide open. Like, here's your free real estate. Get in our ass. Go ahead. There was nobody marking him. That was the fucking right back's job, and he did not. Jorge Sanchez was way up in the opposing goal, you know? And that's why I really felt like Isra should have started this game. Like I said in the last transmission, I would have started Isra, and I would have started Fidalgo from the get-go. I wouldn't have put Romo in this game, man. Romo, listen, you want to talk about punching above your weight? I mean, this guy has just... He has shut a lot of people up, okay? And has proven a lot of people wrong. He got a fucking goal in the South Korea game, the only goal of the game that won us the game. Then he gets an assist in the following game. Like, just unbelievable. But there's levels to this shit. And against England, you don't start a mediocre player like Luis Romo. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean, because he really did contribute a lot to this fucking team, to this campaign. But you don't start a Luis Romo, a slow-ass, clumsy-ass player like that against England, dog. That's a world-class team. You don't start him against England. Yeah, South Korea, you could get away with it. Ecuador, you could get away with it. But not against England. We should have started Fidalgo from the get-go. That's what I said in the last transmission. I would have everything, the whole lineup that El Vasco had today is largely the same that I would have put, except I would have had Isra instead of Jorge Sanchez, and I would have had Fidalgo from the jump instead of instead of Luis Romo, rather. He made the switch later on, and you know, Fidalgo came in and tried to do whatever he can with the limited amount of time that he had. But you know, again, man, this fucking world-class team in England, they were on the ropes, man. They parked that double-decker bus from straight out of London, you know, and they were on the ropes. And unfortunately, our attack missed crucial shots. You know, Raul Jimenez, I love the guy, man. And in my opinion, Raul Jimenez is a better player than Chicharito. We always had that debate, always, for a long time now. Who's better, Chicha or Raul? And I always said Raul's the better overall player, but Chicharito is the superior striker, because that motherfucker scored goals. They weren't pretty, they weren't technically savvy, they weren't crispy, but he was fucking scoring goals, always. You put Chicharito there, he just has a knack for finding the space, the timing, the positioning. That's something you can't teach nobody. And Raul was finding these things, but missing. He wasn't clinical. He missed some headers that are gonna haunt that boy for the rest of his life, probably. Not to be dramatic, but I mean, like, that shit's probably gonna haunt him, you know. This game really... I don't know. I'm not gonna... You know, a lot of Mexico fans right now are talking about, oh, we could have won this game, bro, and blah. I'm not gonna say that. But we definitely could have tied it and gone into extra time and perhaps penales. I'm not gonna say we could have won it, man. Listen, England is a world-class team. Mexico is not a world-class team. It's that simple. It's just that simple. And we could argue, we could debate, oh, but we have so-and-so. And Gilberto Mora had one of the worst performances thus far. He gave the ball away in the midfield when Jude Bellingham scored that second goal within 2 minutes of scoring that last goal. And pretty much the moment Jude Bellingham scored that second goal, man, back to back the way he did, I pretty much knew we lost the game. I pretty much knew it. I mean, I know that the team evened it up. We got a penal and everything, but I pretty much knew it from that point. Like, nah, bro, we're not winning this game. It's just not gonna happen, because there's levels to this shit, man. There's levels. You know, that whole Estadio Azteca, altitude, fucking smog, pollution, this and that. Like, that's what I've been trying to say throughout these different recordings, man. I've been trying to say, like, we need to stop relying on that shit. Like, that can't be our modus operandi. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you have to just play better. You have to be the better team. When you get fucking goals handed to you on a silver platter, you have to put them away. You have to hustle. You have to shoot the right passes, give good service, positioning. You know, that's what defines a world-class team. And Mexico is not that, unfortunately. Not yet. You know, I mean, we have a world-class player in the making in Gilberto Mora. And again, he didn't have the best of games today. That's unfortunate. But he's a 17-year-old kid. What do you want? What are you going to do? That's a 17-year-old kid, man. I'm not going to hold nothing against that boy. Because, you know, the fact that he even started in these crucial games, he's going to be a fucking legend by the time it's all said and done. He already is, if you think about it, because he's the next to Pelé. He's the youngest player ever to start in a World Cup, next to Pelé. So, be that as it may, man. Just coming back from the bar with the wife. We had a good time, met some good people. There's a lot of sadness, man. I saw a lot of sadness in people's eyes when Mexico lost. But once again, I want to reiterate what I opened up this transmission with, which is keep your head up. This team fucking over-delivered, okay? This team had no business, you know, keeping clean sheets as long as they did. That's another thing I do want to say, too. That, you know, and now I kind of feel vindicated a little bit. Because I've been said that I really wanted Mexico to concede a goal in the fucking Czech. And I know that's a dumb thing to say. Why would you wish for your team to get scored on? Because of this. Because I want the team to not look like deers caught in the headlights when they finally get scored on in important games. That Czech Republic game, bro, we were already qualified into the knockouts. So I wanted the Czechs to fucking score on Mexico. That way they can formulate a game plan for when they get scored on and not look like deers caught in the fucking headlights. Scared, oh fuck, we're down a goal. What the fuck? We were keeping clean sheets. That's why I made that dumbass comment that I wanted them to get scored on. Because you see in the game against England, the moment they got scored on, Mexico looked like deers caught in the headlights. That's the classic Mexican mental midget bullshit that we've dealt with for all of millennia. It happens. You know, the team needs to be stronger mentally. But again, I don't want to be overly negative, man. Again, I just want to reiterate that we need to be proud of this team. They fucking overperformed. They punched well above their weight, man. You know, players like Romo and Piojo and fucking Gallardo and fucking Jorge Sanchez. I still think his ass shouldn't have started this game. But he's been playing good too. I can't even be mad at him, bro. Yeah, he didn't mark Jude Bellingham in that fucking goal. But besides that, he's been playing good too. I can't even be mad at Jorge Sanchez. And he had some crucial tackles in this game as well, taking the ball away at very crucial points in the game. So I can't even be mad at him, bro. These players are very mediocre players at best. And that's being generous. And yet, they accomplished something that previous Mexico generations failed to accomplish. They won a fucking knockout game. Yeah, it was Ecuador. Well, guess what? Ecuador has like 3 world-class players, one of which is worth $130+ million. And you had little 17-year-old Gilberto Mora running circles around him, making him look like a chump, all right? So don't let nobody minimize that accomplishment. We won a fucking knockout game. That's something I never seen in my lifetime, as long as I've been alive and watching this sport, this beautiful game. I've never seen it, and I got to see it. So you know what? If I die tomorrow, next week, a month, I can die happy because I seen something I never saw from this team. They won a knockout game. Of course, we should strive for more, but you know, baby steps. Baby step. Rome wasn't built in a day. And Rafa Marquez has a tremendous fucking squad shaping up for him in 2030. Hopefully, the Mexican Federation allows Rafa a true proceso and not try to replace him the moment a couple of bad results happen. That'll be a fucking travesty. You know, that's one thing I am kind of low-key worried about. If Rafa Marquez, for an example, if he doesn't win the Gold Cup, and the FMF decides to fire him and hire Efrain Juarez, for an example, that would be some... And I could see that happening. I could totally see that happening. Because the FMF are bipolar as fuck. And they make a lot of dumbass decisions. Which is why our team hasn't really grown into the powerhouse that we think, that we believe they could be. But nonetheless, man, here's to looking to the future. What can I say? This team gave it their all. They came up short. But man, the future is bright as fuck, man. The future is bright as fuck. Huescas, Mateo Chavez, Hormiga, Mora, Guti. You know, the winger situation is still a little dire, but I mean, Hugo Camberos, hopefully he pans out. You know, the future is pretty bright, man. So that's all I gotta say. England beats Mexico, knocks them out of the World Cup. And I'm just gonna say this. I hope Haaland puts 3 past those motherfuckers. Let's go Norway. That's who I'm gonna support now. You know, we're gonna see Haaland put at least 1 goal past those motherfuckers. And hopefully at the end of it all, though, I want to see Cristiano Ronaldo hoist that World Cup trophy above his head, because we already saw Messi do it. Fuck Messi. I want to see Ronaldo do it, because he's put in work. He deserves it. He's a lot more humble than Messi, you know. And yeah, man, it is what it is, guys. On to the next one.